What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, Hopefully you guys are doing good. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, man. How's everybody doing? Everybody's good? Can can y'all unmute yourself or do I have to unmute you? I think
Hello.
Can
okay,
unmute.
okay. I
I,
just
I
want to
can
make
do
unmute.
sure.
it.
We
You
can
know, I just
unmute.
like when people come in and just unmute and then I can you kind of give everybody an opportunity to kind of speak or see how they've been doing or whatever. So I made you guys like a little slide thing. I wasn't gonna do one. I was just gonna like just free, like just I'm so used to doing things just naturally off the top of my head. Um, so I decided to use Canva, make like some little slides. I think I did this last week in one of them I was doing. And well, it was in the founding members, so that's what it was. But typically I just like to verbally say things because I can get things off. But like this slide, how I did it, it's like I kind of broke it up because I really want to focus. I really want to get people to understand the importance of some of the stuff that I'm talking about, so they can really so they can really because it's going to be something that a lot of people are just uncomfortable with, but it's going to be able to help them because um, it's not normal for people because of the way we tend to want to do our content. And I'm telling you guys, if you do it this way, this is the golden ticket as far as like just getting things going. So I'm gonna give it another minute and then we're just gonna jump in and they can come in while let me see who is that? Ashley, do you think you can
Yes, I can.
all right, I'll show appreciate it. Let me find her.
And I'll put it that nobody can unmute while you're talking, and then when you open it for questions, I'll uncheck it so that way.
You said don't put it like that?
No, I will do it.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if you know how to do it, but I'll do it for you if you don't.
Did
Okay.
anybody else notice that as soon as Darrell started to say, Ashley, would you? She said, yes, I will. We just knew what you were going to say.
Yeah, I've asked her a couple times. Well, she's asked me that, I want to say she asked me if I needed any help to let her know. And she was supposed to do it last time, but she came in kind of a little late and I had already started. So it's all good.
That was my
Okay.
bad because in Arizona, we don't change the clocks here. I change time zones that I follow, and I always
Okay.
screw up at least one time.
All right. Okay, guys. So we're gonna get started. Okay, so let me so mute yourselves. I'm gonna let you guys mute yourselves so I can talk. And again, of course, this will be recorded for people because I know everybody works different shifts and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to find a certain time to fit everybody's needs because some people probably work days, some people work nights. So that's why I record these. So so today I'm gonna be talking about how to grow on social media this in 2025. This can go for TikTok, Instagram. It doesn't really matter, even though I know I do primarily most of my business on TikTok, and I'm starting to do it a little bit on YouTube. But the stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about today is probably going to be a little uncomfortable for a lot of you guys. And I've been watching a lot of people's content, and I know it is because they're just kind of like all over the place. And so, what I'm going to share with you guys, I'm telling you, you stick to this, you'll start seeing some results and some growth, right? And it's going to be a little odd for a lot of y'all. So let me try to share my screen and see if I can even pull this up where I even got all this. Because I am not like the smartest guy when it comes to. Okay, give me a second. Let me so hang with me, guys. Okay, let me see. Canva. Okay, let me try to pull this up again. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, okay, awesome. Okay, let me okay. All right, guys. So when it comes to growing on social media, put this on over here, put this over here. Guys, when it comes to growing on social media, it's all about content. It's about you have to know how to create valuable and relatable content. That's two types of content. This is how you grow organically. This is how I've been able to grow like I think to like 115,000 followers brand new in like 9.5 months or something like that. Um, it's all about the content. It's all about the content, right? So I don't want to put this. You have to create content that people can relate to. Okay, keyword that people can relate to. Now, there's the best way to do this is two ways, guys. You want to be able to create content. The best content to create that people can relate to is content from live experiences. This is stuff that you've been through, right? See, this is why I say your story is so important, guys. It is the most important thing in this business because nobody knows what you've been through that has allowed you that made that switch go off into your head where you're like, you know what? I've got to join this program. I got to go look for another way to make money. Whatever that is, that's where they're going to relate to you guys. They're not going to relate to you. Um, they're not going to relate to like a demographic. They're not going to relate to a gender, right? I was doing a coaching this morning with a lady and she was like, I watched some of her videos, showed me to check out some of her content, so I checked it out. In the first two videos, right out the gate, it was the same issue. The content was good, but it's just one thing. So she was saying the word mama in her content. She was like, hey, I help mamas, I help mamas, I help mamas, I help mamas. And that's and so what you're doing is you're putting your audience in a box. You're basically saying that the program is only for women when you say that. So you could see, even though she had a lot of pain points in her story, but because she was saying that, well, I help mamas, I help mamas. Well, the guys are over here having this, they can relate to those pain points that she's dealing with, but in their mind, they thinking, well, this is just for women. So, I can't deal with it. And so I remember watching a video of hers where she didn't say that, right? Because under the videos where she said that she was getting it was just all women, no guys. And then there was a video where she didn't say that, and then she had guys commenting. So my point is like, I know it's easy for us. We're like, oh, I'm an empty nester. I am just a married mom of three, just whatever it may be. I want you to understand that that doesn't even matter in your content because when you start creating content that's relatable they're going to relate to the pain point. Those are the experiences that you've been through. That's what got you here. That's why you joined this program. So when you're creating content, your story, this is why it's so important because it's important that you get it. Because you got to ask yourself, your story is why did you join? What was going on in your life? What type of experiences were you doing? What were you doing prior before you came online? What were you doing prior? Right? What did you not like about that? Right? Like this person was a nurse. Now they had been a nurse for like 6 years, right? They were overwhelmed, they were stressed out, they were exhausted, right? And then of course COVID hit and boom, they lost their job. Well, everybody can relate to that. In 2020, half the country lost their jobs to COVID. So that's relatable. She was a nurse, right? That's relatable. She's going to attract people in healthcare. She was exhausted. She was working long hours. She was broken down. She's going to attract people who ain't even in healthcare, but they have jobs where they're broken down, they're stressed, they're working long hours. See, your audience is going to relate to the same thing that you're experiencing. That's the reason why you joined the program. So that's why you focus on that, the pain, right? That's how you create relatable content. And those are things that you've experienced through life, right? You know what that feels like to work 12 hours. You know what it feels like to be exhausted, to be stressed out, to be behind on your bills, to be living paycheck to paycheck, to be overwhelmed. You know those things. Well, the reason why it's imperative that you're telling your audience, you're sharing that with your audience because they really believe that in their minds, they're the only people who are dealing with that. So if they hear you say it, that's going to it's just going to click to them like, okay, so man, Pam's dealing with that. So I'm not the only person. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how it works, guys. It's a psychological thing because they really think that they're the only people struggling. You got people in this world who think they're the only people living paycheck to paycheck. The only ones who living off their credit cards. When half the country's living off their credit cards, probably. So that's why creating relatable and valuable content is important. The other one, guys, is what you're talking about can solve their problem. See, because when you start creating relatable content, that's where the like, know, and trust factor comes in. That's where they're going to get to like you, know you, and trust you. And then once that develops, then at the end of the day, can you solve the problem I'm having? I'm working too many hours. What do you have? Can it solve my problem? I'm not spending no time with my family. What do you have? Can it solve my problem? I'm trying to get out of debt. Can what you have, can it solve that problem? Right? Of course it can, right? Because we have the legacy builders program, and that's what that does, right? So creating relatable content, valuable content, that means something that can impact them, something that can solve their problem, but something that they can relate to. And that comes and starts with you sharing your life experiences as far as like what you were dealing with that catapulted you into pulling out your credit card and joining the legacy builders program or coming into the online space. So you should always be letting people know what were you doing prior to coming online. That's where they're going to be able to get an idea of who Donna is, who Jody is, who Diana is, right? Oh, Jody, yeah, man, she was a pharmacy technician for 3 years, right? They know you. If the more they feel like they know you, the more they're going to trust you. It doesn't matter if they see you or not, right? So those are the main things, guys. Creating relatable content that people can relate to, that come from life experiences. That's where your story comes in, the pain points. And then, of course, can you solve a problem? The people who make the most money and who have the biggest following are people who provide value, people who can solve other people's problems, and people who they feel like they can help them in some way, form, or fashion, whether they've experienced it or not. You just look the part, and that's all part of building a huge following as well, right? Now, this one right here, guys. If you want to build viral content, this is how you grow. If you want to build viral content, guys, if you want to grow on social media, you have to do videos. I know some people may not want to hear that. You have to do videos, guys. This right here is the quickest way to develop trust. It is the fastest way to develop trust. That's why you can do like hypothetically speaking, let's say you were on a voice clip. You heard a voice clip of somebody, right? Well, you don't kind of pinpoint their tone. But it would be different if you had just did a FaceTime with them because you can actually see the person in the flesh with your own eyes. So you feel more comfortable. When people see you, they can get an idea of you. They can read your energy. They can develop their own personal opinion about you, which is very important in the online space when you're building a business where 98% of the time you're probably never even going to see the person, right? So videos is the best way and the quickest way and the easiest way to build the like, know, and trust factor, guys. So if you want to really grow on social media, guys, and you're on your TikTok, whatever platforms, guys, you want to do videos. You want to get over that hurdle, get in the bathroom, do whatever, but that's what you want to do. If you can do video in this business, you can make a lot of money because people just going to grow to like, and trust you as long as they can relate to your content, as long as you have a problem that can, a solution to their problems we do, they're going to join you, guys. They're going to join you. You're going to become an authority figure. You're going to build your brand, and you're going to build your personal brand too, not just your business brand, but your personal brand. Your personal brand is just as important because your personal brand is what a person's perception of you when they see you online. If they don't like you, if they don't like the way your hair looks, if they don't, I mean, it's all the small thing. Your personal brand is so important because that's going to have a lot to do with your success, whether they like you or not, right? So your personal brand, what do you want to be known for? When someone looks at you, what do they say? If they look at you, Pam, and say, well, what is Pam known for? Well, she's that girl. She's that woman that was, you know, and I said this, when they come to your page, guys, they should know three things. If they watch three of your videos, they should know three things about you. They should know what you used to do because that's part of your story, and they should know that you should be sharing that. because they're going to be able to relate to that because whatever you used to do, you're going to attract people right out the gate that used to do that or that are currently doing that. They should know what you do, right? What they should know your name. They should know what you used to do, which is what you were doing or what you're currently doing while you're in the business, and what you're doing. So they should know your name, what you used to do, and what you do. Your name. My name is Darrell Hannah. What I used to do, I used to weld. I used to weld. That was my 9 to 5. What do? I teach people how to make money from their phone, right? So when you're branding yourself and you're trying to grow your social media, guys, what you want to do is you want to be saying, hey, guys, you do your hook. Hey, my name is Pam, and I teach people how to make money from home. Because when you say that, or you can say, hey, my name is Pam, I teach people how to escape the 9 to 5 rat race. I help people. I teach people. I help people. You are the authority figure. You're taking the response. You're the person who's in the driver's seat. They looking at you as an authority person. People love to follow people who can teach them things, whether they know you or not. So when you're letting people know, hey, I teach this person how to do this, or I help them do this, that's going to build your brand. That's going to build your image. And as you get better, you're going to be someone of influence in the online space. You could be a dirt bag outside of the online space, but online where the money is made, you're someone of influence, and that can make you a lot of money. So you want to build viral content, you have to create videos, right? And I know this, guys, because I went through and counted my videos that have went viral. Now I don't know what viral means, so I just did the ones who have I just did my videos that have over 100,000 views. I have 14 of them. That's over 100,000 views, 14 videos. And one thing that I noticed in those videos, I'm always talking about when I was a welder. That's my story. I'm sharing my pain point, right? And I'm talking to them about this program and how the things that I love about it, what it's doing for me. And then I'm selling the destination as far as like what it's allowing me to do because they can relate to that. They can relate to that. People can relate to, hey, that guy was a welder. I have people talking about, hey, man, I've been welding for 25 years. I've been welding for 6 years. Man, I got fired from my job. Man, I'm working 12 hours a day right now doing nursery work, like all things. I work 12 hours a day too. So it's all about the relatable content. That's my story, right? That's a part of my experiences. Your experiences are a part of your story. That's what's going to make you relatable to them, right? Me saying, "Oh man, I make $10,000 last month." That ain't relatable because some people ain't even making $700 a week, right? So, but when you talk about, man, at this job, man, I've been working at this job at Walmart for 7 years. Like these, I mean, I'm been stressed out, behind on all my bills, man. I can barely even afford rent. They can relate to that. A lot of people can relate to that, right? And you got people who be like, "Hey, man, I work at Walmart too," right? So that's very important. And of course, you say videos is the key. It's the quickest way to build trust, like I say. And the best now you can do videos. There's so many different ways you can do it. I have learned from experience, guys, the best way to build in growing on social media and building content that's viral or getting there is short form video, which is TikTok. You have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Those are more like, Instagram is more like a semi short form. TikTok is long form. YouTube, long form. But if you master short form, guys, I'm telling you, it can just change your life because you're going to be able to let people know who you are, hit the pain points so fast, right? And then let them know about the program and then the CTA. That can be 30 seconds to 90 seconds. If you can stay within that time frame and you can do a good hook, you can tell a good story, focus on the pain points, talk about this program, right? What you're learning, etc. Boom, and then hit the CTA with consistency, guys, is going to grow because they're going to start relating to you. And I want you to understand this. See, this is why telling your story is the same. And when we get to this point where I'm talking about, but this is why your story is so important because you can do 200 videos. Well, the 201st video that you do, that may be the first time somebody's ever seen you. So they don't even know who your name is. They don't even know what you do or nothing. They're like, who is this person? They don't know nothing about you, right? So that's why it's always important to be sharing your story. There's so many ways you can attack it, right? And we can do that in another video, but you always want to let people need to know who are you? What does she do? Oh man, that's that. Oh, she's that nurse, man. Oh, yeah, he's that welder guy, right? That's what you want, right? But the best content to do with videos is the short form, 30 seconds to 90 seconds. I've been working a lot on 30-second videos. In the last 2 months, I've had like two videos go viral just off 29-second to 30-second. Now that takes time because you have to really try to, because we want to share so much in our videos, right? But we got to understand you don't have to share that much. You just want to pique interest. The goal is to share just enough to where they're just curious. That's all we want. We want them just curious. After that, they're going to ask you for information because they're curious. They don't know all the answers. You don't got them on the tip. So you're like, hey, can I get some information? Hey, Donna, what is that? Do you have a website? That's what they're going to ask you because you've only gave them enough, and that's all we need. You don't want to go in there talking about what, spending 2 minutes, 10, you don't want to do that. Just boom, straight to the point, right? And then with the CTA. Now this right here, guys, is so important. Your audience. This is the people who your content is for. You want to have one single audience. And what I mean by that is this. Your content is only supposed to be, you want it to just be for one particular person. So prime example, if you could tell yourself, if somebody asked you, man, who are you trying to reach? Who is your content for? You got to be able to ask yourself that question. Who is my content for? Why am I doing this video? Who am I trying to get this video in front of? Because see, your video ain't for everybody. So who am I trying to get this in front of? You want to have one audience. So you got to ask yourself, who are you talking to? When you're creating content, ask yourself, who am I talking to? Who is Darrell's talking to? Who is this for? Who is my audience? And guys, listen, you got to stick primarily to that audience. You don't want to be over here sharing this about your story and then you done flipped it over and you're sharing four more different things about your story. You want to hamper on the same thing to connect with the same audience. You only want one audience. And you have to you have to engulf yourself into that one audience. Guys, this is the key. I'm telling you right now. Create your content, get comfortable. I'm talking about get bored telling your story and your content. I can promise you, if you do that, you're going to go viral. It's only a matter of time because what you're going to do, you're going to trigger the algorithm and the algorithm is going to know exactly who to push your content out in front of specifically. See, when you're all over the place with your story, you're talking about retirement, you're talking about the daily pay, you're talking about like the algorithm don't know where to put your stuff at. They don't even know who your name is. They don't know what you used to do or nothing. So they're just confused. So what they do, they push your content out to 200 people. They see you don't get that much engagement, and then boom, it just stops. And that's why your video gets 275 views, and nobody's commenting because you got the algorithm confused because you're talking about so much stuff like they don't know. Guys, I'm telling you, if you stick to the story, if you stick to your story, that is before you join this program, when you do your hook, whatever you're talking about. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm such and such, and for 12 years, this is exactly what I was doing. When I was, bagging groceries, man, I was working long hours. I was stressed out. I wasn't making enough money. Those are all relatable content, guys. If I can get you to just understand that what we take for granted, we just think it's nothing like, oh yeah, I was struggling. Yeah, I've been living paycheck to paycheck. It's tough. No, guys, those are life-changing things that can make you a lot of money because people are wanting to get rid of those. They see that you have a program that can help them and they can build a business, right? And they don't have to have no experience, no tech skills, no following. They're going to be interested. We just want them interested. That's it. We just want them asking for information. We don't have to get on the phone with them for 45 minutes and explain it. We let the automated system and the emails do that. We'll let the webinars, the webinars, we'll let them do all that information. We'll let them do all that, right? We just want to get them into the automated system. We want them to ask for information about the program, details, info, blueprint, etc. So you had to focus on one audience. Who are you talking to? if I ask you, who are you trying to get who is your video supposed to reach? Who is your audience? You stick to that one audience. If you're like 60 years old or 61, and your story is, hey, retirement is right around the corner, and you're not ready for retirement. That is your single audience. That's your story. Your audience is primarily people who are pushing close to retirement and they're not ready. They don't have the funds. They need other streams of income. They're worried. They're concerned, right? That's your audience. Your audience is not the ones who are working 60 hours a week. Now, I know sometimes there are people who are at that age that are working like that, right? And you could throw that in there, but primarily your audience is people who are not ready for retirement, right? If you are a stay-at-home mom, right? Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom, right? 9 times out of 10, if you have a spouse, you're in a home, a single income home, right? So you can stress, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom, right? You're going to attract a lot of stay-at-home moms, right? And you can even talk about what did you do before you was a stay-at-home mom, right? Because every stay-at-home mom has a story before they became a stay-at-home mom. Maybe, their husband lost his job, or I mean, his husband was working too many hours and daycare was too expensive. So it was best if they decided to stay home. Like there's gonna be so many people that relate to that. But whatever your story is, get comfortable with it, get bored, get stress yourself out with it. You need to be saying it until you can speak in tongues with it backwards. Guys, I'm just being 100 because the algorithm is going to reward you for it. I can promise you. I can promise you. If you just single audience, that means who are you talking to? One person. And I know this is something that we're tough because we're like, well, I just feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over. Good. Good. Yes. That's a good thing, guys. That's what you want. And this is going to grow your following because guess what? People are going to start following you. They can relate to you. They're going to start sharing your stuff. Other people are going to start sharing your stuff. That's how you're going to continue to grow, right? So again, your main focus, the more you focus on this, guys, the better you're going to trigger the algorithm. The algorithm, guys, a lot of people think, oh, the algorithm don't like me. No, the algorithm, they're praying, they're hoping that your content gets a lot of engagement because that's going to help the algorithm. That's how they make money. They're hoping that you can get engaged so that they can continue to push you out, right? So when you focus on just that one demographic, that one audience, who is my content for? I want you guys to write that down. Ask yourself, who am I trying to get my content in front of? Who is my audience? Who am I speaking to? Right? Who is my audience? Darrell Hannah, who is your audience? My audience, I'm speaking to men and women, right? Who work 9 to 5s, 60, 70 hours a week. They ain't never got no time for their family, right? They working every weekend. They're sick and tired of it. They're struggling. Their heads barely above water. They're stressed out. That's my audience. That's what my job did as a welder. That's my audience. Anybody in that demographic, if you can relate to working long hours, if you can relate to working every weekend, Saturdays, Sundays, being away from your family, stressed out, behind on your bills and debt, that's my audience. And that's a huge demographic, right? I wouldn't be like, hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Darrell Hannah, and I teach dads how to make money from home. I would never say that because women want to make money from home too, right? So you should never put a gender like, hey, I teach men how to do this, or I teach women, or I teach stay-at-home moms, or I'm whatever. You just want to share that story. This is what I used to do. Boom, right? Because the pain points is going to attract all genders. So you don't want to be all over the place. That's why I put the stop signs. You don't want to be all over the place. You want to be talking about you just want to get bored sharing your story. Get bored, get bored, get bored. Just keep using different hooks. Let Chat GPT change it up for you a little bit. Chat GPT is free. You want to grab Chat GPT and be like, hey, I'm a business owner. This is my story. Just tell them what your story is, what you've experienced, your pain points, what you don't like, and let them know that you found this business, you work from home. Guys, it's AI. They'll program this and make it look so beautiful. You'd be like, there's no way I would have came up with this type of terminology. That's how you go viral. I have done all my content has not been for the last 2 months. I've been using ChatGPT for all my content. I have not made no content by myself. I tell ChatGPT what I want. I say, hey, create me 3 viral stop the scroll titles, hooks, and short scripts. So I use the titles as my cover on my videos. And then I use the hooks when I'm talking. Boom. Sometimes they start off right with the pain point. Sometimes they talk about, hey, when I was a welder or whatever it may be. They're the best at it, guys. Right. And then they have a short script for you, which is even better. And if you don't like that, you can be like, hey, I don't like this. Create me 3 more videos, but show empathy and compassion. Right. I mean, you can just talk to it however you want. It's going to make it perfect. Focus on the pain points. It's emotion. Emotion makes people move, right? The key is to consistently serve this same audience, guys. Stay right there with them. Hey, keep on telling that same story. Keep on telling it until they say, "Hey, Jody." They email you back, "Hey, Jody, I'm so you talk about the same old stuff over and over. That's all you ever talk about." Good. Y'all ever hear Michelle say it all the time? She get emails all the time talking about all you do is talk about the same story. I get it all the time. Man, all you talk about is when you was a welder. What do you do? I'm just gonna keep on. They look at it. And if they know I'm a welder and don't even know what I'm doing, that's good. If they know your story but don't even know what you do, that's great, right? Because you can always let them know, hey, yeah, this is what I used to do. Now this is what I'm doing that got me away from that, right? So consistency. This is the key to growth, guys. Focusing, zooming in on that one audience who you're looking to serve. Now, what do you want to be doing to do this? You want to be creating 3 videos per day. Now, if you're not doing videos, I understand. 3 pieces of content until you can get to the point. We're talking about growing on social media. This is how you grow. Maybe you want 10,000 followers, 50,000. This is how you're going to get it, guys. Creating 3 videos per day. After you create your 3 videos, right? Or after you create one video, let's say you're creating a video on TikTok. After you create that video, upload that same video to TikTok stories. Upload it to your stories, upload it to your Instagram stories if you have Instagram, and upload it to your Facebook stories if you have Facebook. It don't even matter if you're promoting on any of them. You just want them curious. They're interested, they're nosy. And if your 3 videos for today for on a TikTok, upload all 3 of them on your TikTok story, your Instagram stories, and your Facebook stories. And if you have Snapchat, do that too. Every time I create a video, I put it in my stories on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then something I'm starting to do is, and of course, this is all growth, right? You want to, if you have YouTube, upload 3 to 4 YouTube shorts a week and at least one YouTube video. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like now what TikTok will do is after you create your do a live, they actually break your live off into like 6 short video clips, right? And you can take one of them has the most views, most diamonds, but whatever one you like, you can take that and just upload it to YouTube Shorts. I've been getting a lot of views and a lot of leads off of YouTube Shorts, right? It's March the 17th, March the 19th. I've got like 2,800 leads already just this month. And it's just March the 18th, March the 19th. Happy birthday to my wife. It's my wife's birthday, right? But this is how I'm doing it, guys. This is how I'm just doing it. I found like this is what I've realized that works for me, right? And I'm sharing with you guys what I feel like will work for you if you just stick with one audience. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I think that is it. Those are the clips. So again, guys, I'm gonna recap this. The key number one thing is to make it all starts with content. Create valuable content and relatable content. Your relatable content is going to come from your experiences in your life. What were you doing before you joined? If before you joined, you worked at a factory for 6 years. What did you not like about working at that factory? Were you working too many hours? Were you stressed out? Were you living off your credit cards? Were you behind on your bills? That's what you want to be saying in your videos because that's relatable to your audience. Valuable, that's anything that can help them and that can solve their problems. That's where you're going to lead them to the legacy builder. Because after you share that, you're going to be like, and it wasn't until boom, August of last year that I came across this system, this program. And now, because of the skills I've developed, I've been able to build me an online business using social media. And I don't even have to talk to nobody because I have an automated business. And now I'm able to spend more time with my family. I didn't have to have no tech skills, no experience, no type of huge social media following. And I love that it only requires me 2 hours a day to learn how to do this. So you're shedding so much light. You're lowering so much anxiety on people. They're just going to be so they're going to want to know, hey, I'm curious. That's all we want because curiosity can make you a lot of money. And then of course, creating content that people can relate to from live experiences, solving problems, um, doing videos is the key, guys. Video is going, that's how you build trust. The fastest way, creating content that can go viral. And then of course, you want to be creating videos between 30 to 90 seconds. Get straight to it, guys. You don't want to be what I like to call what's the word I'm looking for? Where you're just rambling. You want to boom, hit them with that hook. You got them. Let them know your pain points. Man, for 14 years, I worked as a welder, 60, 70 hours a week, stressed the hell out, behind on my bills and debt. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And it wasn't until January of last year that I actually got introduced to digital marketing, and then you just go up into your story, 30 to 90 seconds. Single audience. Ask yourself, who am I talking to? Who is my content for? And you stick primarily to that audience, that demographic of people, whoever you say is for, them the people you're talking to. You ain't talking to nobody else but those people. Because those are the people that can relate to you. You do that, you're going to focus on that, you're going to trigger the algorithm, it's going to work in your behalf. And then, of course, consistently serving that same group of people. And it's a lot of them. And then, of course, create your 3 videos, upload those in your Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook stories. And then, of course, if you're doing YouTube, try to do 1 video per day. Take those videos, you can shorten them and upload them as YouTube shorts. I think with the shorts, you can create all your videos and upload them for shorts because now with YouTube, you can do the shorts for 3 minutes or something like that, right? All right, so now I'm going to open it up for questions. Let me get out of there. Stop this from sharing. Where's Ashley? Ashley, can you do it for me?
Sure. All right. So we'll go with Diana. I'm just gonna go what's on the screen on the
Okay.
top. So we'll go with Diana first.
Oh,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. I actually have 2 questions. My first question is, how much time between posts?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think the time really matters. Now, what you can do is you can look at the analytics on your phone or your laptop, and it'll let you know when most of the people on your page are active. Like for me, most of mine are active early in the morning between 6 and 7, and then 11 and 12. So I post my first video sometime between 7 to 8, and then I'll post another one like 2 or 3 minutes before I go live, which is around about 11, sometimes 12. And then I typically post my last one between 4 to 6. Now that changes. Sometimes I'll post them an hour up. I'll have all 3 of them posted before 10 o'clock. It really just depends. But again, if it just depends on if you want to get it in front of a lot of people, just kind of look at the analytics as far as like on your phone or your laptop, and it'll let you on your TikTok, and it'll let you know when most of the people are active as far as like your friends on your page. And then that'd be a good time to post.
Okay. Well, the reason that I asked that question is because I did look at my analytics, and my most active times are between 2 in the afternoon and 4:30 in the afternoon.
I will.
And
Are you
so if
are you
you,
posting around that time?
yes, and
Okay.
I'm just posting twice because of trying to space them out instead of 3 times. And I'm just curious. My next question is, I'm going after people that are retired or thinking about retirement. And I wonder if I started posting consistently at, like, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock. Do you can would I do you think I could build an audience in that time frame by
Yeah, you
consistently
can build an
posting?
audience. It don't matter what time you post. Since you're dealing with that type of people, well, I'm not being funny, but older people wake up early in the morning. So if I'm you, I'm posting at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning if I'm able to, because they're already up. And then of course you can post if you want to post at 10 or you want to continue to post at 3, you could post at 7 and you could post at if you're I don't know what time you get up, but you could post at 7 o'clock, you could post at 10 and you could post at 2:30 or 3. That's a good gap right there. And I think you can build your audience and it ain't the time, it is never the time. I know people say, oh, is there a certain time? It's not the time, it is the content, guys. I'm telling you, it is the content. You can post at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's a lot of people up at 4 o'clock in the morning on TikTok.
Crazy.
They don't
They're
sleep.
up in the middle, they're up in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. That's
Uh-huh.
very helpful.
All right.
All right, next up we will have Maria.
All right, Maria.
Hi, Darrell.
Hello,
Thank you
hello.
for doing this. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me properly? Okay. My question is because I believe is what you were saying. I think it clicked tonight. Also because I saw a video that Michelle was posting. And the point is that probably I was going all over the place with my story. Yeah, my story is I was a nursery teacher. I knew I was moving country because in India I couldn't make an income, a proper income. And in London I could make an income, but then I was laid off. COVID came and was laid off. I tried to build an online business and yeah, it didn't go well. Then my friend introduced me to the legacy builder. The point is, what Michelle was saying in this video is that to target that 10% of people that can actually afford, target those 10% of people that can actually afford the program. Because I don't think nursery teacher are able to afford the program because I
Hey,
was I was
hey,
living with
you can't say that though.
no, I wouldn't say that, but in my when I was, because I want to be more like, yeah, as you were saying, more targeting one audience more strictly. Like, what do you think? Who should I target? I'm single. I have no family. Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's what I'm saying. See, you have to figure out, okay, so who is your content for? You're once you find out what your story is, and once you find out whatever the pain points in your story, that's your audience. Like those are the people you're talking to. So you have to know you're talking to. But you never want to say, well, I'm not going to target them because I don't think they can afford it. That's just in your mind because
yeah.
people they'll go through great strength, great lengths they'll do whatever it takes if they really in a situation and they're trying to really get out of it, they'll put a lien on the car to get the loan or whatever. Like so that's something you don't want to say because I used to do that. Like I used to go through my TikTok and I used to look at people, I'm like, oh, they look like they can't afford nothing. This is when I first started. They don't look like they can afford it. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as someone who looks like they can afford it. So whoever asks for information,
No,
just never
wasn't
know.
in that. Was trying to get your help to understand if I should target more people in educational field, or maybe people that are looking or are already inside building an online business and actually are maybe struggling, what is better, what is better.
I would okay, so you could do them both because it really just depends because you have people who have an online business and they're still struggling because they don't have the skills. They don't know how to market the right way. They don't know how to attract customers. So they're struggling because they don't have the basic understanding of what marketing is. So you could still be sharing your story and you're going to attract those people just like the ones who are curious who are struggling. They don't have a business but they can learn how to start one and they can learn how to, they're going to hear your story and then they're going to hear you talking about this program and they're going to be interested. If you keep saying the same thing, the people who already have a business, well, they're going to be introduced too because see if they're already in business, well, that lets you know that they have no problem spending. So they understand that they're going to invest. So they'll be able to reach out to you, ask for information, and then they're going to get in the system and they're going to see the system is going to take care of itself and they're going to be more prone to invest in the business because they already done invested in their own business. They probably just missing out on the proper training and the proper skills to get their business off the ground like they want to.
Yeah. It's just trying to figure it out what's better because I'm telling my story. I do tell my story, but it's just I think it's all over the place. A little bit I talk about the fact that I had to move from Italy and because I couldn't get enough money in here.
I know, but
And yeah, as
okay,
nursery teacher.
all right. So this is what you want to do. Okay, so you don't want to be all over the place. You just want, like I said, you want to take that story, that one audit, and you want to just get bored. You have to figure out what story you want to tell. You don't want to be sharing like 8 or 9 things. You're talking about this one video, and then you're talking about this in another video. No, whatever you decide to talk about, you talk about that in all your videos, right? You ain't got to go into. You can hit it from different sides depending on the hook you use, or let ChatGPT help you with it. But that's what you just want to focus on and that's the audience that the algorithm is going to push your content out in front of. So again, just you want to get bored just sharing that story. I know it's tough for people because we feel like we're just saying the same old stuff, but I'm telling you that is the key. That one single audience sharing that one story as much as you can until you can get to a point where then you can start creating short form videos like 29 seconds, 30 seconds. And you don't really have to share your story. You can hit like 2 or 3 pain points without even saying nothing about your story. But you don't hit pain points that they can relate to, and then you don't did a CTA, and they're gonna ask you for information because you don't provide it just enough that they're curious, and that's all we want them doing is we want them curious and that's going to grow your following because the video is short and they're going to be more prone to watch it after they catch the hook if it's just 29 or 30 seconds or even 40 seconds.
Yeah, now it's what I'm trying to get to because I'm like, okay, I understand it, but I don't think, and I think people were asking me, who are you talking to?
But that's the
Who are
thing, you
you
have to find out who you're
talking to?
talking to. That's true.
Yeah,
You got to ask
like
yourself.
because if I talk to people because that I didn't know because till now I talk to people that didn't know about um, about digital marketing and they were on a 9 to 5. They were like working, right? And but now it's like, yeah, it's harder in that way because people, especially in Europe, in India, are neither heard much about digital marketing. So it's much instead if I go if I go after people that are already thinking to start an online business, that are already educated, maybe, I don't know, it's easier?
Listen,
I don't know. I'm trying
I know that's what I'm trying to help you with. Okay, you just want to just share the story. I, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you could just get comfortable just sharing that story. I know we're tired of hearing it. We're like, oh, I'm just saying the same old stuff over. I ain't getting no traction. You are getting traction. You just got to understand that it may takes a look. We're all different. Our backgrounds are different. Our personalities are different. Our sense of humors are different. Like our energy is different. It is that story with the algorithm and your hashtag that's going to push you to whoever you're supposed to get to. I can promise you, if you just get comfortable, everybody gets followers and people asking for information differently, right? That's the difference about this business. But that's just who it is. If you start trying to target a different audience, you're just going to confuse the algorithm because they don't even know who they're like, who's Maria? What is Maria? Like, what's her story? So if you're trying to
yeah,
talk to
I
people,
think,
if you're
yeah,
trying to talk
I
to people
think,
who are already if you're trying to talk to people who are already in business, like I just talk. And the crazy part about it, I attract people who are in business and people who work 9 to 5 because if they're going to relate to you, they're going to be able to relate to you. It doesn't matter if they have a business or not. Like that's the thing I'm trying to get you to understand.
okay, okay.
All right.
I will try to uh, sh- put in a in a box my
Just figure
story
out, just figure out what,
multiple
just figure out what kind of,
multiple times.
yeah, just figure out
Work.
what, you have to figure out what your story is, and you got to stick with that. And just continue to
Yes.
use different hooks, continue to talk to Chat GPT and let them help you. Right?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thank you, Dara.
Uh-huh.
All right, next up we'll do Fiona and her dog.
Fiona.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my boss on my lap because she needs to go for a walk soon, right? That's the boss I answer to. Anyways, thanks for all your training, Darrell. Congratulations on all the amazing things that you're doing. I just have one question. When you're doing a TikTok video, you have the hook at the beginning, and then when you go and do you edit your cover page, are you supposed to put that same hook on the cover page, or is that something different?
No, what I do is, so I get my hook, I used to get all my hooks just right off the top of my head because I have like how I come up with my hooks, I ask myself, what can I say that if somebody else said this, I would stop and listen. Now I know a lot of people can't do that, but that's how, and I always come up with good hooks. I don't know, it's just sometimes you can't. Well, but lately I've been using ChatGPT, and I got this off Michelle months ago. And so now I'll just say, hey, I'm a business owner. Create me 3 viral stop the scroll titles and hooks. And then I'll go up into the type of video. But what they do when they give me the title, that title is 9 times out of 10 is so good. It fits the video perfectly. I'll put that on my edit cover. So right when I've done my video, and then I hit next, and you can edit it. That's what I'll put in the cover. I like to use yellow because it's bright. So when people come to my page, they see all this yellow and they're going to be nosy and they're going to click on it. But you can use whatever. But I use that. Now the hook, I typically love the hook because in the video on ChatGPT, they may have a hook like right out the gate. It could be a pain point. It could be just whatever, and I'll use that, and that's what I'll start my video off of, right? So
Okay.
I use the title. I say titles and hook. That's how I get my hook. That's how I get my cover hooks a lot. Because see, your cover hook is a hook too. Because when people come to your TikTok and they click on your page, they're gonna see your picture, they're gonna see your profile, and they're gonna see all those yellow titles. And if they're supposed to be catchy to the point where they're nosy, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, what is this? You want them to click on it so they can continually keep watching your videos, and you keep talking about this program, this blueprint. They're going to ask you for information, or they're going to go up to your bio and click on your link or your website, or they're going to message you on TikTok. That's why you want to put them hooks on there, because that's going to bring more traction and more nosy people, which that's what you want to look at your videos to see what it is that you're talking about.
Okay, so those two things are different then, the
So what
title
you
and book.
yes, yes, but what you can do also the hook the cover hook, you can also put that in your caption at the top, right?
Okay.
So that can be a hook too. Your caption at the top, not your caption where they can just read where they can read it. I'm talking about like the one you can put at
Yeah.
the top or the bottom. That can be a hook too. I always try to say something that catches them, like so they can watch it and be like, because that can be a hook too. So I use that sometime. That caption, that same caption, I may twist it a little bit, and then I'll use that as a caption at the top. So when they come in, they can see that, or once they come to my page, they can see that at the top, and then they can click on it and they watch the video, and that's just how it goes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Alrighty,
All right, next up is going to be Chantel.
Chantel.
Hi, Darrell.
Hey,
I
hey,
just
hey.
have a couple of questions. The first one, when you use ChatGPT, is it like you just get an idea and then just pick up the camera and just start talking just based on the points you get? Do you do it word by
Are
word
you
for
talking about
word?
before I do my video?
You're right. So
Yeah,
when
I
you're
just
using ChatGPT, you're just getting an idea, right? And then just going
Yeah,
off
I'm
of that.
getting an idea. So I use ChatGPT, so they already know my story, right? So what I'll do is I'll say, create me 3 viral stop to scroll titles, hooks, and short scripts that I can use to create 3 short form TikTok videos um, about my story and how I've been able to come online and build an online business. Let my audience know that they can do the same thing, but focus on the pain points of my audience working a dead end job. And I'll just say, I'm always saying focus on the pain points, and that's it. And then they already know your story, so they can formulate it in like a million ways. And you can and how they formulate it, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna like it. And you can always edit it and put in your own words and keep some of theirs, or you can be like, hey, I don't like this. Create me 3 more and show compassion, show empathy, right? Or you can say anything and they know how to put it or focus more, even more on the pain points, right? And they'll just come up with it, but they have to know what your story is. Now, let's say they don't know your story. Then you want to just decide on what you want to say. Like, okay, so I'm a business owner. Create me 3. And I always say this, guys. I encourage this. Tell them create you 3 viral, because that's the goal. You want to go viral. Create you 3 viral, stop the scroll titles. You use the titles when you get them and you put them as your cover hook. And then hooks, you use that. You can say in your video if you like it. And then you be like, hey, create me 3 viral stop scroll titles and hooks about how I used to work such and such, and I was stressed out behind on my bills and living paycheck to paycheck. And then of course I came online back here in September and found this daily paying program, and now working 2 hours, I've been able to build me an online business with no experience. Focus on the pain points. I always say focus on the. I'm just rambling because is this fine? Because it's AI. They're 10 times smarter than we are. They're gonna put it together and it's gonna be beautiful, right? So yeah, I always say focus on the pain point because pain makes people move, and nobody does it better than Chat GPT. Like they're the best. Like they can when you start, and then you'll get to the point, guys, when you get comfortable creating your content. Also, I want to share this: when you're creating your content, let's say your some of your pain points is, man, I worked this job and I was exhausted, I was stressed out. You don't want to be like this, man. You don't want to be like, I was creating this content, man, and I was watching this working this job, and I was so stressed out, and I was just, man, I was behind on all my bills, right? You see, like that doesn't even sound right because I'm smiling, but I'm talking about being stressed out or behind on my bills. That ain't nothing to smile about. So you want to have a look of concern on your face, like, man, I was stressed out, I was struggling, I was behind on all my bills, right? And I knew that if I didn't find a way to get out of this cycle, it was going to literally kill me. Like you have a look of concern on your face that lets them know, hey, this is serious. Like that's what I'm dealing with, right? So it's all, and this just comes with once you start creating content, you get comfortable, you can start showing like compassion in your, in your, the way you look, how you hold your hands, gestures, all that stuff plays an important role in you being convincing and likable and relatable because they can see that in your face, in your expression, right? But yeah, that's what I do. Like you can just wing it. Like I can promise you, if you just grab it, like I'm a business owner, create me 3 viral stop the scroll titles and hooks, and just go off into letting them know what you used to do, what you was experiencing. Maybe you were struggling, you were living off your credit cards, and then let them know, hey, back here in July of last year, I found this program, this blueprint, and now I'm able to build an online business, working a couple of hours a day from my phone. I didn't have to have no experience, no tech skills. Let my audience know, well, you can say focus on the pain points of working a job where, that's got you struggling and in debt. Like I'm telling you, they'll just come up with, and you can go on forever. You can say, create me 25 stop the scroll titles. Like you can go on forever. Like you're never can with ChatGPT, you will never run out of content ideas. You can just wing it. You can just say some stuff off the top of your head. They'll put it together. That video can go viral. Like they just know how to do it. It's AI.
Okay. Yeah.
And Michelle's been talking about this forever, like for 10 months now, and I just started using ChatGPT like 2 months ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good because I know some people say they don't like using Chat GPT, like, and they're saying that they can tell when people use it. So I don't know. Some people, I've heard that. So, but I've used it and I like it. I
Well,
guess
you
it's
can
just a
use
matter of,
it, and if you don't like, I think it's all about how you say stuff.
yeah.
It's all about how you say stuff. Like you can't be generic with AI. Like you have to be specific. They know how to put emotion in words. They know how to put empathy, compassion in words that make people move. Right. So it's all about how you're saying it. Right. There's something I've learned. When I first started doing it, I was trying to talk to it like a robot. And then I was on the mastermind and heard Mike talking to it. Mike talked to it. I was like, oh, I see. I got you. Or how Michelle talks to it, and so, it's just the best. I tell you what, I haven't created all my content for the last 2 months has been with AI.
Working for
I mean,
you.
with
That's
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. And then one quick thing, similar to Maria, I had a business. Does it matter for everybody to know what type of business it is? Like, do you
No,
think that's the key, or is it
no,
okay
that's
to
not.
just be
That's
like,
not
I
even
had a
important.
business and then this is what happened? Okay,
Yes, you
perfect.
don't have to go off into that. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. You don't have to go off into that because, to be honest with you, they don't even care because most of these
Right.
people don't have businesses. All they care about is when you get to talk about those pain points and what you've experienced and what you were dealing with. That's what they're
Mhm.
going to relate to. They're
Right.
going to be like,
Because
"Oh shoot."
I had a business and then I got a job. And I think that's where I try to focus my content around. So is it going to confuse the algorithm if I'm talking about what I didn't like about having a business and what I didn't like about having a job? That's
No,
fine,
whatever
right?
you have to figure out which one you want to talk about.
Yeah.
What you have to figure out what you want to talk about, and that's what you got to stick to. So if
Yeah.
you want to talk about just the job part, that's what you want to stick to. If you want to talk about, and this reminds me of a call I was on the other day, a couple days ago, with a guy. Well, he was in real estate. It was him and his wife. They had a real estate business, and they was telling me about that. And then he was talking about. Then I got a little deeper, and I was talking about. And he was talking about the job he's currently work. I was like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna, because he did real estate. He had a real estate business for like 7 years, 25 years ago. I said, okay, so we're not gonna talk about that. We're going to focus on this because you're going to be more prone to relate to people who work a 9 to 5, right?
Mm.
That's lets him say, hey, we had a real estate business, we sold it, and we traveled to Dubai. Like they can't relate to that. Some of them hadn't even been out their own state, right? So we're going to focus on that, and the story ended up being he has a phenomenal story. Just focusing off of that part. So you have to figure out
Yeah.
what you want to do. You want to just
So,
focus on the job or
or the business.
or the
Okay.
business. So whatever one you want to focus on, that's the one you want to stick to, though.
For every video, stick to whether I want to stick to the job or like, can
Yes.
I do one video about the business, one video about the job, or just choose one and stick
Man,
to
I'm gonna
it?
say what I would do. I would do all my content around one audience so that all because what you're gonna do, like you may create content and you get somebody who come there and you talk about this business and then they watched another one of your videos and you talk about this job and they're like, okay, so Like, you know, so you're kind of confusing them and you're confusing the algorithm. So you just want to just focus on, and then, and what you can do when you start doing lives or if you're doing them, then you can go into more detail about that. Like, hey guys, you know, before I even started this, I used to have a business. I used to have a bakery, right? A lot of time they don't know. I have a lot of stuff about my story that I can't say in my video because I just don't have time. But on my story, I talk about that. Like on my video on my live today, I was telling people back in my hometown and how I grew up and what I used to do and etc. Right? I can't talk about that in my content. I mean, on my live on my TikTok videos, but on my lives they're a lot longer, so I can go off into that, and that's just going to share more credibility, more the like, know, and trust, right? And you can always share that, but in your videos, I would just focus on that one demographic, that one audience, on if you know if you decide to do the job part. And then you can always talk about the business thing and what happened on your lives, right? Because you have more time. You can take your audience more into getting to know who Chantel is and what I used to do before I did this. Hey, I had another business, right? And then whatever happened, then I had to go get this job and etc. Right? But you want to
Okay,
just paint that picture of just that one audience of people right there, because that's where you're going to get the most relatable. That's where you're going to be more relatable at and get more people
yeah.
who can relate to that, because most people don't have a business.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Next up is Carrie.
All right, Carrie.
Okay, so I would love just to share kind of like those 3 points. We said who you're talking to, your one audience, just to make sure I'm kind of on track. So I have that I'm talking to basically me. I'm talking to busy burnout moms who are working multiple jobs or side hustles and still barely getting by.
Okay, I want to stop you right there.
I know because I said moms. So I don't know if I say my story, I'm talking about being burnt out, working multiple
Okay.
things, finding this. So that's what I mean when I'm saying that's like
Yes.
who the
I
picture in my
just don't
head
want
is.
you to say the moms in there, because you got dads who are working jobs and they're burnt out, right?
Yes.
So, when I just don't want you guys to put you guys in that shell, because there could be a lot of men watching your content and like, man, I wish I could do that, and they thinking it's only for moms,
Yeah,
right?
and I will say this. I do prefer to work with women over men personally, just because I'm a single woman and just other stuff comes up when you have certain men anyways. But I did have my first gentleman sign up, and he's not a dad, but he's married, right? So and he found me through my lives. So with the audience, like that's the person I visualize, right? Helping moms. Of course, I can help other people, right? Men and women, moms, dads, singles. But having that singular focus, right, of sharing my story. So the aspects of my story I'm sharing is working 10 to 12-hour days in my personal training
Yeah.
business, to having 2020 hit, lose half my income, to going online, to winding up working 3 different things and still not be able to get by, to finding this daily pay blueprint back in May, blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
And if you want to learn more about this blueprint I found, just drop blah in the comments and I'll get it to you.
Absolutely. Because if a
And just
man pulls out if a man pulls out his credit card and purchases the legacy builder, and a woman pull out her credit card and purchases the legacy builder, it's still $900. It
yes, it
don't
is, sir.
it don't
So
matter, right?
no,
But yeah, that's what you want. Just don't
okay.
no
Just
gender roles,
yeah.
just
Okay. Yeah. Just leave out if I say anything about who I help, I just put I help people.
there you
And
go. Perfect. That's it.
and then when I do my shorts, I've been doing a lot more 30 to 40-second ones, which means I don't have a lot of time to do my story. So I tend to hit a pain point. Are you working 10, 12-hour days and you're feeling burnt out, can't get by? Or you know what I mean? Like that's what I can do, right? Still taking an aspect of that pain point that I struggled with, which they're struggling with, and then just going deep on that and then doing my transformation or paint the picture and then call to
Are you
action.
talking about
Right?
for YouTube?
No, when I do like my TikToks, when I'm
Oh,
doing,
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
lot. If mine go over a minute, TikTok is not pushing them out. If mine go under a minute, typically they get, I mean, I'm still in the 100 to 400 range,
Well,
whatever.
when you're in that range, that just means that there's something that's missing, that's not connecting with the audience to be able to get them to respond.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
getting call to actions. Like I'm getting people to respond to my call to actions, but they're still not being pushed out past a couple hundred.
Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I can promise you, the algorithm does not. The algorithm is no respecter of persons.
Yeah.
They don't, it ain't like they hate, it ain't like they're saying, man, I hate, man, Chantel, I'm not gonna push her content out. No, they want to push your content out
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
hoping that you create content that they can that's gonna get all types of people because they want, that's how they make money, but they want to continue to push it out so they can get more people, so that they can get the analytics up
Yeah.
and all this other stuff. So they're on your side, but it's got to be content that can
Like,
stop the scroll. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys have been looking at some of the hooks that I put in the content vault thing back there, guys. I know like I've got like 20 or 30 of those hooks. There's probably 50 of those hooks that I've used that's got me views anywhere between 30,000 to a million views, right? Because they're not traditional hooks. Because what they do, I when I use hooks, I hit folks in the chest. I make him like relive a nightmare, like watching Nightmare on Elm Street when he was like 6 years old. Like I'm really trying to scare you because I make you think like, man, bro, that's crazy. And then it's how I say it too, because like I say it with the look of concern on my face because I've experienced this. That's why it's easy for me. And you gotta, and I want you to get to the point where you can create content where you're just like, you already know what to say and how to say it in the tonality, the facial expression, because you've already been through it. You guys have already experienced it. So you should be saying, you want to be saying it with conviction, like, you know, whatever it is. Like I keep a frown on my face like this, right? So I'm like real serious in my content, unless I'm talking about, man, look, guys, there's nothing like this time freedom. I'm out here by this lake. There's this waterfall. Like I'm painting a picture of freedom
Yeah.
while they just come off of a 30-minute lunch and they got 6 more hours to work. Right. So it ain't the algorithm wants you to create content. It's all about the pain point. And then like if you have to, guys, slow down in your videos. Really focus on those pain points, like put emphasis on them
Okay.
instead of saying, man, I was stressed out, I was behind on my bills, I was living paycheck. Like you're talking so fast, like man, I was stressed out. Like I was really struggling, man. I mean, I was behind on all my bills. I was up at 2 and 3 in the morning, like trying to figure out what the heck am I gonna do. I'm over here rubbing my head and everything. Like I'm trying to do everything. I'm pulling all the tricks out. Right. And I understand like that. And that's what happens when you get really comfortable on the camera, which I am. And I know everybody isn't, right? But the more you do video, you will get comfortable. And then you'll start being able to just add those other little elements of your story, which is hand gestures, facial expressions, um, different tonality using in your voice. All that stuff plays a role in them believing you and really saying, hey man, I need to, hey, give me some of that information. Right. So, but
Do
that's
you
what I
think,
do. I
do you
think,
think,
go ahead.
sorry, do you think the cover, the title plays a part in it being pushed out for them to initially want to watch it?
I think the caption does at the top. And what I mean by that, see the cover is good too. And the reason why I say that because when they come to your page, they see all your videos, they click on it. But what's also important is once they click on the video, well, you know how you got the caption at the top.
Yeah, I call that my hook. My
Well, yeah, that can be a hook too. I call it the caption hook. That
Okay.
plays an important role
Okay.
because you want to make sure it's something that can keep them entertained and watch the video. Something that's like suspicious, like they gotta watch it, right?
Okay.
I'm watching some videos today. Some people in the community doing video. There was no captions, there was no nothing, just a plain video talking. No,
Oh,
nothing. It had like 60 views.
yeah. I always have captions. I always have, a
Yes, make sure those captions are like,
7 seconds on there.
yes, make sure your caption, you want to have a caption on every last one of your videos. And then you want to have it where they can read the words because they could probably be at work and they can't listen to it, but they can read the captions, where you're talking, but you want to have a caption hook,
Yeah.
something that can really keep them entertained and want to know, hey, let me watch this real quick, man. What is this? Right? So that's very important.
Yeah, that slow down part, because I tend to want to get the video done. And so I know the story. So I'm already like into it. And so I talk so
Yep.
fast So yeah, I'll have to look at some of my videos that did well, like got more pushed out
That's
in the
perfect.
feed that I was going versus not. And then
Yes.
also hashtags. If you change your hashtags up, will that affect it too?
It won't affect, well, it just depends. Like I've been stuck on the same hashtags for like a month, right? Because
Okay.
I don't know, I'm trying to really like just get, my goal is to get like so locked in on, okay, so when I create videos, TikTok know where my video is going. Boom. That's why I can create a video and then come back in 30 minutes and it's got 700 views, right? And it's only been up for 30 minutes. And I
Okay.
know that. And another thing, I'm gonna tell you this. I learned this back here last year. So when you create a video and you upload it on TikTok, guys, do not get out. Do not swipe up out of the TikTok app. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So like, for example, you upload a video and it's uploaded, and you know how we like to just swipe up and get everything, clean everything out. No, leave it alone. Upload the video and then just leave it alone. Don't swipe up out of TikTok, because what you're doing, you're messing with the algorithm.
Mm.
I learned this back here last year because when I first started doing videos, I was watching a 7-figure TikTok influencer talk about that. I was like, oh shoot, bro, that's crazy. And when I started doing that, that's when my views started get. That's why I could go, like I could do a video and I'll leave it. I could be on Facebook or whatever, and I ain't been back to TikTok. I haven't touched it. Then I come back, boom, it's got 600 views, and I've been gone for 30 minutes or something like that. Unlike if I got like 5 or 6 apps open, and then I'm just getting up out of all the apps. Don't get up out of the TikTok app. Keep the TikTok app in there.
Okay.
So that's just another thing. But another thing, guys, what you want to do is go back and look at your content. Like Carrie said, go back and look at your content for like the whole month or the last 2 weeks. Look at which one of them got the most views, and also, but look at which one got the most comments. And when I say comments, people in engagement, I don't care if it's engagement, whether they ask for information, engagement. Look at that video and create another video similar to that. Just use a different hook. Use a different caption hook. Use a different whatever, but just kind of make another video just like that. Because obviously that's what's working. So
Okay, next
good stuff, Carrie.
is Dorian.
Dorian.
Hey, how you doing, Darrell? It's gonna be
Hi,
real
brother.
quick. I was out here at work listening. Good information, by the way. I got a question on Facebook. When you're doing your stories, there's only a certain time that they give you, like a minute or whatever. And if your video is more than that, I was trying to figure out how to go about getting that whole like a minute and a half, whatever it is in that story, or can you?
Man, sometimes TikTok don't even give you a minute. What I've been doing is I have my
Well, I meant
Instagram.
Facebook. I meant the Facebook.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
Facebook
have. Yeah,
story.
that's what I mean, Facebook. But I have my Instagram connected to my Facebook, so Instagram will let you do one longer. And then, so what I've been doing when I share mine to Instagram, it automatically shares this to Facebook, and it'll play the whole thing, right? But they're not gonna play 3 minutes. I can't remember if they'll play a minute and a half or not. I can't even remember. I just because most of my videos lately have been like 30 seconds to a minute, right at a minute or something like that. So I'm getting all of those. It's playing all of that. But you're not gonna upload a video in TikTok or share it to your TikTok, I mean your Facebook stories. It's only gonna use it for like 30 seconds, and that's it. But if you share it from Instagram, it'll play longer than 30 seconds. I do know that. I've seen people with videos in their TikToks, I mean their Facebooks for like 2 and 3 minutes. I don't know how they're doing it, bro. But maybe there's somebody to
So
figure out.
real
But
quick on that, Daryl,
yeah.
Instagram is shorter than Facebook. So if you do not connect and you put the in your stories in each app, so if you go to Instagram, put it in because Instagram is 60 seconds and Facebook is either 90 or 120 seconds now. So
Oh,
if
is
you
it?
go from Insta to Facebook, it will cut off at whatever point. So if you go from Facebook to Insta, it'll cut off at whatever the Insta is. So if you have a longer video, I would suggest going straight into Facebook and uploading it from your stories there and then uploading it to
See, I've been
um
doing mine through Instagram. I'll upload through Instagram and automatically up, but mine aren't long anyway. But I'll upload
yeah.
mine from Instagram to Facebook, and it plays the whole thing.
Mhm.
right? So I guess you just kind of gotta test it out, Dorian. Is he off? I can't hear you.
He muted himself again.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't know what happened. They're doing drilling in the back of at work here. They're doing drilling, so I
All right.
want the background noise. But okay, I know it's like I do reels, and the reels are pretty good. They go
Yep.
the whole length of my Facebook. My stories is it gets cut off, and I try to time it just right and overlap from 1 minute to the next minute, and it messes up every time. So I just wondered how to go about doing that. But okay, well, I appreciate it. I'm here. Work's gonna get kind of noisy, but I appreciate it, and I'm still piggybacking off you. I've used several of your hooks and content ideals, and I'm
Yeah,
getting some
bro.
pretty good feedback. I'm getting good feedback, but I'm getting people that want to know what's going on. And out of about 60 people in my email list, still trying to get that person to buy, but no one's done it yet. But keep pushing.
Just keep on pushing, bro. Just keep on creating content, man. If you build it, they will come. Like you just got to keep on creating content. And again, guys, I know this is off this training, but I know we got the new 2.0 that's got the 30 emails. You still want to be emailing them personally like 3 times a week minimum outside of your automations. So you want to be sending
Okay.
3 emails to your list. Like that's your
All right.
list. That's like you got to treat it like you're dating. You know, in the beginning, you're just excited to see each other and all this other stuff. That's how your list is. Your list is your soulmate or your bestie or your cutie pie, whatever they call it in this new generation now, right? So because guys, these are real people and they you have something that they want. That's why they opted in and gave you their email. They didn't have to do that. So now you have to engage with them. You don't want to be the only email they're getting is, well, man, we having a webinar this Friday. Come out. We're going to show you how to make 10,000 in 30 days. They're going to unsubscribe. They're gonna block you. They're gonna call you a scammer because you have not even they don't even know who you are, right? So I know the emails are set up to talk about the program, but we want to be sending them emails that talk about where we can talk personally with them. Hey guys, hey, I do a video. I would encourage you guys to do a video on Loom or ScreenPal or whatever. Like do a video talking to your audience, right? Let them
Oh,
get to
excuse me,
see
Darrell.
it and
Sorry, real
know
quick.
who
I'm
you
gonna
are.
mute myself real quick. I'm gonna mute myself because we got noise going in the background. But thank you.
All right, bro.
All right.
All
All right.
righty, Ashley.
Next up is I'm gonna take a stab that it's actually Dawn on the video.
Dawn. Oh, Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah, hey,
So,
yeah, thanks. I don't know how that got on there, to be honest. I must have done it. It's nice to meet everyone. Darrell, great material. I love it. I'm gonna just tell you for the last week, you've been my hero. I'm gonna all except for that sign back in the back there. I don't like that. But but
I
this
hear you.
stuff is gold. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been using ChatGPT. I got it off a couple of videos from Michelle, but ChatGPT didn't know me. When you said that, I put that in there right away. I can't believe the content that
I'm
it
telling
kicked
you, bro.
out because, well, my situation, I'm still working 37 years in a factory. 60 years old, I still work 60 plus hours a week. Okay. And I haven't been putting a lot of that in there. Most
Oh,
of my
gotcha, bro.
videos, I've done 16 videos in the last 5 days, and I have 13 people that signed up. I've done three live.
Wow. It's good.
Three live, two of them about an hour, one almost an hour. But my thing is, if they ask me on a live or whatever, I haven't made a sale, obviously. What do I say? I'm promoting the program that I found the
Hey,
whole 9 yards, and
be honest with him, brother. You be honest with them. You let them know, hey, right now, I'm still working my job. I've been at my job for 37 years, and I'm trying to get out this job, right? I'm tired of working 50. You want to keep it 100 transparency with them, with your audience. Because
right,
if
right.
you if they sense you're lying, this is where your personal brand
Well,
comes.
I wouldn't want to lie to them.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no.
So just keep it, let them know, hey, they'll understand, hey, yeah, I'm still working my job, guys. I've been with my job for 37 years. But I'm so tired of working these 50, 60-hour work weeks. And this is the reason why I joined this program. This program is teaching me these skills where now, even though I have a job, I'm building me an online business and I'm learning these high income skills. And I'm able to work this in the nicks and crannies of my day because it only takes me 2 hours. And so what I'm doing now is being able to create a program and I didn't have to have any tech skills or any experience. And so now what I'm doing, I'm putting myself in a position where I'm going to be able to escape this 9 to 5. I'm going to be able to get my time back. I'm only going to be able to work a couple hours a day from my phone so that I no longer have to trade my time for dollars and feel like I have to work another 10 years, before I experience this thing called true time, location, and financial freedom. I
Right,
want to do
right,
that now. That's why I joined this program. And then you can also shed a lot of light on other people, Don, inside the community. So when you go live, make sure that you have the DGC community open, and then you got the wins. And you can be like, hey
right,
guys, it ain't just me, right? We've got a community
right,
of almost 51,000 people. And click on the wins and start just turn your phone around and just start
right.
scrolling
Yep,
down through there, showing them so they can
I've done
see.
that. Yep.
Right? Yes, yes, man. And so yeah, just let them know, hey, yeah, I still work a job, but now I have this business because I'm trying to get out this 9 to 5, and this is helping me learn these skills where I'm going to be able to eventually walk away from my 9 to 5 and be able to work from home and build an online business around a 2 hour work schedule. So just let them know, yeah, you still have a job, but this is what you're doing, right? They're going to understand. Like, who wants to? I wouldn't want to be 60 years old working. I'm 48 and I spent 14 years working at least 60 hours a week straight, right? I'm talking about like just broken in the ground, right? So I can only imagine how you feel. I
Yeah, I
work,
run a jackhammer. I do concrete
oh
work.
my
Yeah,
God, bro.
yeah. I'm ready to be done. I need something.
I tried a
And
jackhammer one time and I realized I don't know how people do that type of work, man.
my shoulders are
That's
killed. They're
real
dead.
manual labor.
It is. It is. And I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. But this
Yeah.
has been gold. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I know it's taking a lot of your time. It was great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right,
All
Ashley.
right, next up is Kim.
Kim, what's up, brother?
How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir.
All I can say, my friend, is 2 words to you, man. Thank you. You just did all the heavy lifting for my life tonight, but
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
what I love about the community, guys, you just have to plug in, right? So with what you were saying about the Chat GPT, I think you heard me said it. I've only been using it after you've been beating me up from day one.
Hey, it's
Use it,
a game
and
changer
I
in your content.
love not using it. But the last 3 weeks or so of Chat GPT, the one thing I hear in common that a lot of people seem to complain about is they don't like to use Chat GPT because you sound like a robot. And I want to make a point there. If you sound like a robot, it's not because of Chat GPT.
Nope,
It's because of you.
you're talking
You
like
need
a
to put
robot.
your emotions in it. You need to put your feelings in it. You got to keep practicing, practicing. I mean, when you practice, there's nobody to give you a critic except your wife, your dog, or your neighbor, right? So I mean,
And you got to tell
until you,
them. You just got to
until
tell ChatGPT. Tell them, hey, what type of content you want? What do you want to focus on? Hey, focus on the pain point. Hey, show a little compassion in there. Hey, show some empathy in there, right? They know all about this. This AI, like this is way advanced than anybody on this Zoom. That's why when I love and when they create my content, I don't know who says it sounds like a robot. It sounds way better than I could have ever came up with. I wish I could just program it all in my head and just be able to say it just like that. How they got it on my phone, but I can't. But
you
so
you you have an amazing way of telling your story, which falls right back into the automation. So you majority of your customers are signing up on the automation. For us, it's kind of a mix, right? But the ones that I actually get to see eyeball to eyeball, a lot of them always ask, well, how much do you make? I've made some sales, right? But I'm not a six figure. And I do exactly what you said to do. I go through the wins, but this is the one question I ask them every time. And after I ask them that question, they sign up. Okay. And it's the same thing that Darrell taught me. Now that we went through 3 pages of wins, let me ask you, how many of those wins are going to pay your bills? So does it really matter what a person's make, whether you're going to make a decision to sign up or not? My question to you is, you got two choices. Stay the same or make a decision.
Well, this is
That's
the
what's
reason
going
why,
to pay your bills.
this is the reason why it doesn't matter. And I had a lady on my live today. She's like, well, I feel like I can't promote the program because I haven't made any money. I'm telling you, last year, guys, I cannot, God knows I'm not lying when I tell y'all this. Last year, I was on such a high. I had like a month where I made like 30 grand for like 6 straight months. This guy, I got a troll, and he was like, oh, he said, yeah, so he said, how much money have you made? You ain't made no money, but you trying to sell people. I said, you know what, brother? Today is your lucky day. I'm in a good mood. I took him inside my account. I think it was the month of June. I made like 36,000. I can't remember. And I showed him. I showed them all, right? He still didn't join. So what my point is saying is this is why I don't really focus on that anymore because you don't have to make money because sometimes people just want to be trolls. You just got to know when they're trolling. Oh, listen, the business works. It don't matter if you haven't made any money. If somebody else is in the program making money, when you show the wins, well, that clearly tells you it works. You may have not made any money yet, so now you got to figure out what. Okay, so what do I need to work on? What do I have to fix for me to start seeing some results? Because obviously, there's 25,000 plus testimonials from not all monetary, but just different aspects. There's thousands of monetary testimonials of people from all across the globe. So I haven't made the money. So, but what do I have to do? So if they can't see that, well, just because I haven't made any money, that don't mean that it doesn't work. Look at all these people making money. No, I haven't made any money, but I'm going. It's only a matter of time. So you just got these guys are trolls when they ask you that, man, because they're working jobs making 14 bucks an hour, $12 an hour, and they're coming in here trying to troll you because you could have just started 3 weeks ago or a week ago, right? So you just got to know, man, when they come on like that, if you don't want to deal with them, just don't waste no time. Just block them, right? Because there are people who really want to learn and they want to join, but maybe they don't have the money. Maybe they need more. They need to see more of you showing up so they can realize, okay, this person is showing up, so I can, I'm gonna join because I feel like they're showing up, so they're answering my questions, and I can get help from them. I know they're gonna help me. That's why they're gonna join you. They're gonna join you because they like you. They feel like they know you. They feel like they can trust you. They feel like if they have an issue that you can help them. That's why they're going to join you. And they know that it works because either they done saw results from you or you've been showing the community results in the community. They see all these people. They're going to want to like, hold up. If this many people, something's got to, they're eventually going to get tired of their situation. They're going to invest in themselves, right? So we don't know when they're going to join us. We can't control that, but we can control showing up, right? That's all we can control. Because sometimes they may just be looking and saying, well, I'm gonna see if Chantel gonna show up. She talked about this program last week. I'm just gonna watch her. And if you post content on Monday and then you ain't posting no more content until Thursday evening, they're gonna be like, I know it. I know it. I know it. She's just trying to take people money. Or he's just trying to take people money. Right? So we have to show up every day until they get to the point like, hold on, man. Every time I look around, this guy's in my news feed. Oh, she's in my news feed. Let me jump on this live and see what they talking about. Guys, I'm telling you, like, you have to be consistent. If you set the standard, if you build it, they will come. I can promise you between now and the end of this year, because taxes going to be over, they going to be stressed out. And they gonna do is keep on you talking about some program, some blueprint, you showing all these wins, people making 900, 300. Well, hold up. They gonna eventually join you guys. I'm telling you, this is how it works, right? So, you know, it just you just want to show up, and so but don't let them. I hate when people do that. Like, oh, well, how much money have you made? Have you made any money? Well, I'll join when you make money. They don't even make any sense. We're not even the same people. Our work ethic are not the same. So just because I don't make no money, does that mean it don't work? Well, this person right here made $7,000 already. So does that mean it's not work? So why can't you join? Because that person made 7,000. If that's the case, just because I didn't make any money yet, don't mean it don't work. So
do you believe in these two philosophies? One is you can't say enough of the right things to the wrong person,
oh,
enough wrong things to
bro,
the right
that is
person.
the best advice. That's some of the best advice you can get. Man, you can never say enough of the right things to the wrong person, bro.
And the last one is um if you push them away more, right? Like if you take it away more and more and more, it seems like the more they want it.
Man, you know what? That ain't how I do mine. I just create content, and I use myself. I use myself as a scapegoat in my content and in my lives. I let people know, like, look here, I'm gonna tell you something else that can help your content while we're talking, guys. I was doing a one-on-one coaching today, and I was telling somebody this. Let's say whatever your story is, let's say you're a nurse, right? When you're creating content in your videos, when you're like, hey, for 12 years, I was a nurse. If you got any photos of you as a nurse, put them photos right in your videos. Like, so when you talk about, hey, I for 12 years I was a nurse, well, they gonna see that video, they gonna see that photo pop up right beside your video of you in your nurse outfit. Guys, that's going to bring so much credibility to you. It's crazy. Like if you watch some of my videos, I'm like, man, for years I was a welder, and I got a photo of my picture when I was a welder, and then of course I'm like, boom, then I did life insurance, and then I got a picture of me with life insurance with some person, and then I just go off into my story because once you start posting more than two pieces of content in your video, TikTok sometimes will send you a message at the top. It says this could affect your views or something like that. So I try to keep it to like two. And it just depends. But all you're doing is that's going to just bring so much credibility to your story. It's going to shed light because they're going to see you in that image and in that image. And then you're talking about this business. It's just going to make you seem so much more credible, like you're telling the truth, right? That's a hack that I got from a storytelling guru I've been following, right? So just some words of encouragement, man. Yep.
We got
Thank
one
you
more
again, Darrell. Thank you.
question
All
with
righty.
hand. We have Candace.
Candace.
Hey Darrell, it's so nice to be here. It's my first time on one of your
Hey.
trainings, so I'm happy to be here. And I just want to say I've been following your content. I've been following the trainings. I've like walking this morning and listening to your trainings. And I after sorry my AirPod is after listening to your trainings and one of the trainings you showed like a 30-second video. So I kind of modeled your video and it was one that you said went viral. I did it and I went viral.
Hey,
And
awesome.
yeah, right after that, I had another video go viral. So I'm really implementing the strategies that you're teaching and really seeing some good results. So thank you very much for
Awesome.
that.
Great job.
I just want to say though, and I don't know if you can help me with this, but I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and my content is just reaching the Caribbean. It's not getting out to US and other countries. And so I just want to get some advice from you on how to get it out there more, if you know.
Okay, so I noticed this, and this is something that someone told me last week, and I never even did this, and I've been in this business for 15 months. So I was getting a lot of people from like Ghana and a lot of these third world countries. Now, I know this is a global business, but guys, those are not my ideal customers, if that makes any sense to you guys, right? I know that you can join, but I don't have any payment gateways for Ghana, for, you know, Jerusalem and all this other stuff, right? I like to keep my audience American based, Canada, anything that can use an American format payment processors, right? So I kept wondering, like, bro, like I had a video that had like 400,000. I had like 5,000 people asking me for information probably, and they were all from Africa, like from like third world countries. And I was like, well, I had to delete the video. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this, right? So I kept wondering, like, how am I getting this? Well, it was like, so before you post your video, go up to the, what is that? You can change the location. So before you post your video, go to location And if you want to reach US, just you can type in United States. It'll just send your content straight to all the 50 states just to the United States. So it won't have to be like over there in like a third world country, or you just wing it. You ain't putting no location. So that means that it can go anywhere where TikTok feels like it. So I just been putting mine on the United States, and I've been getting primarily people from the US. I get a couple from South Africa, but Canada, but most of them primarily is US based, in America, right? So that's what it.
So these are the videos on TikTok, not lives, but videos on TikTok. You
Yeah,
could
this is just
choose the
these are videos
location.
on TikTok. At the lives, I don't know. I get a lot of American people on my live, so I don't really get. Well, I get a couple of people from other countries on my live, like South Africa, Zimbabwe, but it's only a couple of them, maybe like four. Then everybody else is in America. But my videos, I wasn't putting no locations on them, so they were just I was just getting like I was getting a lot of leads, but they were not my ideal customer, and I was like, oh my God, bro. That video had like 300,000 views. I had to delete it because I was
Right.
getting
Okay.
like
So
one American to like 65 Africans, if that make any sense, right? I was like, okay, with all due respect, I can't do this, right? Because and then I had like I wish I could show you this. Last month, just in my on my Stripe, I had like 30 people apply for the 900, and they all got declined or whatever, but they were all people from Ghana and Zimbabwe. So they weren't even my. Now I wish we did have I wish we did have like a payment plans or just American any type of American payment processor for them. I probably would have made 50 grand last. I'm just being honest, but when I look back, I kept looking like, bro, this is crazy. Like it was about this many, like it was an unlimited amount, like 30 of them, but they were all from like Zimbabwe. They were all from like countries I never even heard of. And these are people who want to do the business, but the American the payment processors for their country doesn't coincide with ours. And I don't have those payment processors on that I have mine set up for them. I don't know what they even use. There's so many things out here, but I don't have any of those. So I wish they did though. I think everybody would be like, listen,
well, that's the thing. I think that I would have made so much more money than I have because my content is just reaching the Caribbean. So we don't have the payment plans. We don't have that option of
yeah,
Klarna Afterpay, right? So a lot of my customers, most of them come in on the 100
yeah.
program because that's what they could afford, you know? I do have some on 3, 6. I got some on 9, but it's very few. So that's my thing. I'm like, I know my content is reaching, it's connecting with people, but it's just not reaching the audience that can afford the program.
Yeah,
So
so
that's my block right now. I'm trying to figure out how to get it out there.
Yeah, so when you do your videos, right before you post it, right before after you done did your description and right before you click on the little square at the bottom, the little box, click on the location. You click on location and then you put in United States, and then you can kind of hit the X. And so that content, now your video is going to go out to the US. And I think when you do that, when you go live, really? I had my window up and my window went down and my dog done jumped out the cage. Come here. Let's go. Go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Go. He's special. But yeah, that's what I would do. I think once you do that and then once you start going live, because you changed that to US, because I don't know if you can go live and change your location. I don't know if anybody knows if you can do that or not, but I
Yeah, I'm
figure
gonna try that. I mean, I've done some research where I learned to get a US SIM card and get another device, which I'm in the process of doing. And so if you have that, then it will reach the US audience. The content will
yeah.
reach the US audience. So I'm in the process of trying to do that. But that means that I think I might have to like start over a whole new TikTok account. because I don't know if I had this TikTok account that is in Trinidad, and then I all of a sudden it's in the US. I think TikTok thinks you for that and wouldn't push out the content and think something weird is going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. But I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try
I,
changing the location and see.
yeah, I wouldn't even do, I wouldn't just quit, I wouldn't just start a brand new TikTok right at the gate. I would try that first, like when you do your videos and then change the
Yeah,
location
I'll
to
try that
US and
first
see
and
how
see.
that goes.
Yeah, I'll try that. All right. Thanks a lot, Darrell.
All right. All right, guys. I know we've been on for almost 2 hours, but sometimes it just has to be like that so that you guys can get whatever it takes to, for us to get it, to understand and get it down. But these are things, guys, that this is how you grow. This, what we went over today. This is how you're going to grow your following. You're going to be able to create content. You're going to be able to be relatable. You're going to be able to do all that stuff. You want to just focus on that one audience. Get so bored, just be like, well, I guess for this month, they just gonna know that I was a welder for 14 years, and man, I was so stressed out and behind on up. Like, whatever your story is, that's get they hey, look here. I'm telling you because it's going to help you. You'll look up, and next thing you know, you got 800 views and 40 people asking you for information. That's a hell of a good video. And then as you continue to keep on commenting up under that, it's going to keep on pushing it out. You can even click on there and do a video. Yes, for more that, yeah, that's going to even help you even more because they see you in the flesh doing a live video. So that's going to bring more of the like, know, and trust. Get in there. Go bring more of the light and trust factor with you. But so again, guys, this is what we're going to be doing. Again, we're going to be also. I haven't told y'all this, but I have a special guest that's coming on the 3rd of April, and she's going to be sharing her story. She's a multiple six-figure income earner, but she's going to be sharing how she got started, stuff that she was dealing with. She has a great story. If I told y'all who she was, you guys would know. But I think a lot of people need to hear her story so they can understand that, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. Because I tell myself every time I hear her story, I'm like, man, look here. If this woman can do it, anybody can do it, right? So she's going to be coming April the 3rd. I got to figure out I got the time. We was talking the other day, whatever. So I'm gonna be trying to get I got a lot of stuff's going on, guys. Like I got some other changes that's coming. As far as like the overall community, a lot of changes coming that's going to benefit everybody. Like not just my founding members, but like the whole community, right, in general. But I'm always just, man, I want you guys to know I'm always looking for just ways to grow this community, ways to come up with questions that I can ask you guys that you guys can give me feedback on so I know I can do trainings on this stuff to help everybody. Because again, man, my goal is for everybody to be able to make like 10 grand every month. Now I know in some people's mind they may think like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get there. But you will get there, right? It may not seem like it, but you will, right? I remember when I first came into the program in January, Victoria had just made 100 grand in 5 months on TikTok. And I'm over here thinking like, what? 100 grand in 5 months? And here I am, make 100 grand in 4 months, right? So you don't know what you don't know, right? And everything starts with the story, and then like the relatable content, the like, know, and trust factor. And once you get that, man, people will flock to you like flies on poop because you're like a magnet. You possess some type of aura that they just want to be around. They may not even know much about you. They're like, man, I just like being around her. Or I just like being around him. Or he provides so much value. Or she provides so much value. That can make you a lot of money. I'm telling you, like just being yourself, right? And some people are like, well, I don't want to get too personal. You don't have to get personal. Guys, I used to eat out of trash cans. How many people would sit there on live TV and tell people they used to eat out of trash cans when I was homeless? That's just a part of my life. I don't have to say that. But you know what? I have said that in videos, and I had a guy email me. He's like, hey man, I'm homeless right now, man, and I had to eat out a trash can for the first time. I'll have to pull that email up I'm not even joking. I have to block out the name. So you never know who, and that person joined me in this business. So you never know who you going like, as long as you're telling a story that's real, whatever. Like, if you never been through that, you don't have to say that. But you'd be surprised people with stuff that people have been through. Let me stop this.